still while the wolves use its ribs as true points. Erkin panics and switches to special action mode, hoping for a secret super move. Instead, this is notified by the skeleton and she the skeleton is quickly having a dance off with the moves. Watching the back of the skeleton is lucky to have a master like him because, despite appearances, he used to coach top rankers. He gives it one simple rule: if you don't dodge it, then and skeleton is as kids, this is like fire. Like his kids and touches his own self, so he had to stop standing there looking for the skeleton now would be turned into a twin snake. It's the attack of wolves. This time, it actually dodges and strikes back, successfully beating them. It looks back at Perkin. That's people like a puppy that just learned to turn. Perkin goes full sprint down, solely for being distracted, but he couldn't grab for one shot. Buckling players with builds and great parties. Perkin calculates that with a few more days of grinding, the skeleton might actually be useful enough to solo the enemy. Suddenly, someone bumps into him. A blue covered dog who holds the polishing their soul again, while his lackey shouts support from the back. Perkin looks at them and thinks they look like third-rate dogs, wondering if he should have been behind the second. The dog Rock goes up to punch him, complaining about signing the people with the hospital. But before the safety nets at Landstock, a man wearing a loud Hawaiian shirt, looking like Brad Pitt, decided to retire for them. Perkin tells the dog that bumpy shoulders is the only way to go around the dog after they are together, and the Hawaiian shirt like replies, "No, Captain, you heard him." But it's random. Perkin stares at the man in the Hawaiian shirt, with ignorant feeling that those buckles have terrible factors, made for long one person. You know what? Matador's dead. Comrade warrior, the blood, and field master of the rest. Before we question why top players hang out in the season, our judge is not the dog sits on the floor and wants one day to get out of it. Letting Perkin get first and 40 goals, I go to the problem. Matador simply replies the same thing. That is straight back down, leads to the death of the so powerful as to be comfortable with. Thomas suggests that if the bug offers us Matador's history, probably returning this. The bug turns failed, sweating bullets and feeling intense. Finally realizing they are keeping the fight with the Matador to the death, and then the lucky violence. The bug stammers a terrified moment, and takes away his tail from the gun. Matador laughs it off. He's glad to resolve it with words. He's looking like a cat on the table. But our goal isn't here to make it. He struck off the hand and goes full running away. But I worked it and before walking away. Matador is getting down by the whole thing, but he's winning. He's turning into a people. He thinks to himself and he's thinking for the that he's for them. He found that the next time it is, he's strong enough to get him to visit. But the very montage again. A master black hunter is going to visit. And he's going to do it. When his two-legged skeleton warrior, he's got the beast, and takes it down to the fighting. The skeleton went over his hill, and he sat at for him with the second file, and he's ready for a good boy like that. He's just going to probably give him a down for skeleton shoulders want this one. Realizing praise and praise.
Just to make it order to you. Well, there's that one skeleton. Yeah, well, if you go on Bill Puck, you can see how
This is some kind of savior. Announced that Perkin has pushed up the table by the official warlock, map, and inventory. He opens his status window, ready to distribute his points. Common sense dictates a necromancer to boost intelligence or him. Perkin, however, looks at common sense and throws it out the window. He dumps every single point into strength. The system confirms his strength has increased by 50, and the skeleton looks absolutely horrified. It starts wrong, probably wondering why his master is trying to be a barbarian instead of a wizard. Perkin punches the skeleton's hat affectionately and explains the method in his madness. He says he's betting his life on the skeleton's growth and to teach it proper melee combat. It's the strong himself. The skeleton, realizing his master is making sacrifices just for him, is immediately confused and touched by this display of muscle love. Now ready to take on the world, it heads to the Raiders Association. The place is a chaotic mess of mutants fighting over fresh ones. Perkin ignores the good ones and leads the pile to find a specific party. Not obfuscated. It is a low-level, low-reward quest that nobody wants. The great receptionist questions his in, asking if he's sure about doing a task that only pays 10 gold. Perkin confirms it, secretly plotting. He knows that if he clears his scoring quest before level 15, he unlocks a super rare title called Respect that gives percentage use and stats, effectively kickstarting his overpowered career. Here's how intense to beam him out, and oh boy, he thought about the bit. Perkin stands there looking completely serious, but he's wearing a colorful, mismatched security combo that makes him look like a court jester who got fired for not being funny. His shoes look like clouds. The whole ensemble screams, male children's party clown. Perkin is mortified, cursing the fact that he spent all his money on the skeleton's gear and had to buy whatever bargain bin scraps were left for himself. He decides to speed on the quest just to get out of these clothes as fast as possible. But as he rushes into the woods, a hand reaches out from the bushes, crying for help. Behind the big the singing laughter of youthful adventurers setting trap. Our constant hero stops to walk right into an ambush. Somewhere in the Human Mountains, shouts to the heavens that he's finally starting to hear. He's feeling incredibly confident, driving at his always level 11 and likely to become a regular this week. But his reach and grandeur are interrupted by a desperate cry for help. But Ritter Man is moving over his friend. His body is covered in blood on the ground. Ultimately, the Global Knight makes his approaches with worry. The Great Red Man saw that they were attacked by this monster and have no potions left. Ultimately, he offers his own potions, and the Great Man thanks him profusely. He crosses to take him through screaming down his face. But the Great Man won't get him. A masked man with a beard comes up behind him and smashes a morning star into the back of his head. As Multi crosses the Multi realizes too late that he has been tricked, but the Great Red Man just mocks him, falling on a big fall. The system announces Multi has died. Wash drops to the ground over him. But last, his hole is fun. While the dead friend on the ground sits up and asks big songs for being active for. The Great Red Beard introduces Brawl to the villainous behavior of the wolves, tells his friends it is time to find their next friend. Meanwhile, our passion disaster Virgin speaks to the skeleton warrior to attack some forest wolves. Yells and looking like the skeleton stops going for a second, looking in with him. Stop his friend from screaming for it. Snaps out and follows him. The skeleton left his horse. An arrow flies out of nowhere and walks the belly of the skull. Looking for a shot, nothing else but the scammer reaches the release. Apologizing for playing himself and giving him Herman says it is okay. He has to move on to the details. Their blood weapons and extra watches hidden on their wrists. He wants to feel that these guys are players. Playing the role of the night guard. Raw flies to this instead, he offers a kind solution. They will help him hunt monsters so he can level up and replenish his mana automatically. That is going to be okay with the wide-eyed and Ralph insists it is the instant to for their escape. Ralph points out that some monsters will be just in time, and tells Herman to finish them off after. Herman agrees with a big smile. Ralph whispers to his comrades that he's playing Take Yak. They attack up on the monsters, and then accidentally dump them on the plus They watch their friend, expecting to get instead, they are shocked by what actually happens. Herman effortlessly dodges and moves, slowly the skeleton will move too slow while the tent is struggling through the audience. He calls out to them with big tears, asking them to please continue helping. The hunters are freaking out, wondering why this clown suit guy is so strong and suspecting at high level of they decide to abandon the subtle approach and just mob him. The giant swings his weapon, but our boy dodges it like it was in slow motion and slices the big man down with his sword. Other scammers swoop and jump as Herman calls for a skeleton. Without hesitation, Master and Minion rush the remaining man. Ralph tries to talk his way out of it, shouting to him, but Minion slashes him before he can finish his sentence. Herman tells them he knows Master's up there very well. The type of backstab he fully trusts him. He thinks that if he were to submit himself, there's nothing to wait for. Ralph, barely putting to life, begs for mercy and offers all his items, but Wolf implies that he doesn't trust people anymore and takes his fall. The system announces Wall stat, and Herman stuns 8 ownerless watches drop to the bottom. Skeletons release the stabbing dead bodies over and over. Covered in blood, looking like he's 47 now. Herman looks at his violently weapon and asks if he wants to think for himself, and the crowd down with the sun for job well done. Herman gently feels the arrow wound on the skeleton's head, pursuing his own body to the end. Take a moment to admire the skeleton's movement, and honestly, the little guy's feeling himself, flushing with confidence and stylish attire. Herman decided this is the perfect moment for a life lesson. Punching the skeleton that appearance is important to you, and that what truly matters is what is inside. Of course, since the small strength that Matt exposes his own brain out of the outlet. I'm secretly delighted with his passion. The skeleton is like speechless, staring at his master and probably wondering if hypocrisy is an unlogical skill for enhancers. But hey, that hypocrisy is funded by Sweet Life. Herman notes that Ricco's Hunters is important jackpot because some other players more watching rocks are random items. He managed to score Black Goblin Prince, a sword that has been ancient, a skill book called Phoenix Curse, and put a pile of cash. He's later upgraded, and decides it is time to start recording his gameplay and building a brand. He picks up additional HoloLens, which makes a flashback to his past life where he instantly suggested some back mask in his whole field to make it go viral. Remembers the backstab trigger with the HoloLens back then. He urges at how that works. He considers making a new identity, but decides he's done letting people steal his ideas. Hands on the mask. Herman agrees he was right all along, and tells the skeleton to get back. They step into the portal and even out the gameplay. Where Herman strikes a fight with pure wolves and confidently sets goal for 10 minutes in a 2 hours later, and the super is turned into a slow and form. Herman's furious because there are 0 monsters in the dungeon, wondering if the game is bugged or if someone else already did it. While Herman is raging, the skeleton is bored out of its mind in the background, casually slicing at the cave walls, but the boat had actually accomplished something, because the wall suddenly opens up to reveal a gigantic portal. The system announces they have discovered an instant dungeon called the Sea. Herman realizes this is why the regular monsters didn't spawn. He explains that instant dungeons are rare, one-time events that spawn randomly. This is like the normal dungeons until they are cleared. They are incredibly difficult, but offer amazing rewards, with a small catch that dying means 48-hour life penalty. Rather than just walk away, that's no thanks, and starts running through the portal. They arrive at a place that looks like a massive coliseum, which is Brown freckles, and corrupted werewolf ears. And this thing is not just big, it's gargantuan. The skeleton barely the size of it. The monster's level is displayed as question mark, and Hercules confused about why a corrupted monster is swung that hit on the side of the house, and barely got this. Head again, while the skeleton brings its weapon. Instead of panicking, he starts laughing like an idiot. He realizes corrupted monsters are tied to the main quest. This is a massive opportunity. He tells the skeleton that if they don't kill it, there's no dinner tonight and rushes him. Motivated by the threat of starvation, the skeleton smiles and positions his sword for him. Hercules uses the blade as a grappling, launching himself into the air to attack. As the werewolf lashes into the air, Hercules slashes down, activating his new skill to its curse. He lands policies after slices the monster, and the system confirms the curse has reduced the target stats to 50%. The skeleton is good by his but the werewolf is less impressed. The monster turns around in fury, entering an enraged state that nullifies all skill stats. Hercules getting something with the fun of his chance, and decides to stop all of that. He's watching the shout of blood on, enveloping himself in blue light as he prepares to create a overtime puppet to fuel his trouble.
Bounty is 2 times more absorbance. More done, 1.
You've got places to go, people to see, and things to do. You've probably gotten vaccinated for flu and COVID-19, but other respiratory illnesses are still out there. Your 5th year.
Hercules activates Slot On, a unique warlord feature that empowers players with strength drawn from the world itself, often called Pulse by the player list. It employs off the werewolf. It leads with fury, and Hercules really dodges the flurry of attacks, realizing that the speed and power of a boss monster are overwhelming. Calculates that 3 hits would mean game over, so the pressure is definitely on. Activate the first sword skill, slashing across the werewolf's torso and making the monster scream. Hercules, adrenaline junkie, shouts that this game brings him but the jump he has a warp speed. He totally forgot that the boss is in its enraged state. As he floats in the air, not just one like a fly, he smiles wickedly and passes the monster quick around. Right on cue, the skeleton warrior jumps in, landing a critical hit that takes out the werewolf's other arm. Hercules shouts for them to use the new big rifles, and the duo executes a flawless combination attack, touching the beast. The system announces the victory, and Hercules deactivates his ultimate, noting that it wasn't bad. The rewards start rolling in. He takes quests to suffocate monsters around the game, and skeleton to rifles the rank. He also gets gold, werewolf bowl, and werewolf high, prompting a little celebration cheer from the pair. But the real prize is the necklace of the corrupted tracker, a chronicle unique item. Hercules picks up because even though it's untradeable, the chronicle is under the standard unique items, and boosts all stats by it. He also unlocks 3 new titles, promising Repeat, Finally, Challenger of Heroes, and Corrupted Tracker. He utilizes Corrupted Tracker to get the title of the first chapter of Games, Top Corruption. This is unique because the main quest is the backbone of the Warlord universe, and every player wants to use it. It is previous-like, barely reached chapter 4, so unlocking this so early makes DPS hit the absolute jackpot. It's static, logged out from the games. Expect to see the world just rediscover this company. Instead, he sees a live broadcast featuring a guy who looks exactly like Voltron 4. He did not realize actually that the head guild is officially entering the final chapter of the Count Corruption scenario, and aims to complete it within 3 months. Working pauses the video as he moves his eyes, completely devastated. He slams his head against it, and shouting, "I got caught like that." He realizes he is wildly behind the curve, and that jumping attack will get nothing. He considers giving up, designing for nothing. But then his content creator brain gets out. He simulates the whole world in his head. If he releases a video related to the main quest while the hunt is being he's not supposed to end and upload his footage immediately, but he can't trust just anyone with his passwords. That means the god of from his password. I'm going to remind him. As a girl in pink hair sitting in a fortress of cup noodle boxes, she gets interrupted mid-start by Hercules' request and laughs when she sees he is holding the box. This is really trying to show off in social media, but the moment she watches the raw footage, she stands up in shock, blushing with excitement. She declares she has found her niece. Meanwhile, in a luxury high-rise, a woman in red robes sips champagne while overlooking the city's skyline. Her butler informs her that a video related to Count Corruption just went up, featuring a level 15 player soloing a corrupted werewolf. The butler dismisses it as low-level trash not worth their time, but the woman interrupts her. It's the Thunder Queen herself, Queen. She smiles and demands they bring that player to her, because she likes what she does. Hercules stares at his phone in disbelief, his eyes are popping out of his skull. He only uploaded his video yesterday, and it is only hit 6,000 views. To put that in perspective, in his previous life, it took 2 months of grinding to reach numbers like that. But the weirdness doesn't stop there. The legendary editor Romani reached out to him first, and seemed to check the Hercules is suspicious because Romani is supposed to be his facilities. Never signs of the Romani replies in the chat with a ha, claiming this is just who they are, and praises Hercules for providing such excellent source material. To make things even more awkward, Romani sends a sticker of red roses. Hercules, being the paranoid disaster that he is, wants to block the account. He thinks that Romani is just some weird old game addict trying to work with him. Romani pushes past the awkwardness and asks what he can expect in the next video. He sends Hercules into a panic spiral. He realizes he can't just conjure up another corrupted werewolf out of thin air, and usually, this requires being at its level. But he knows he has to strike while the iron is hot, so he logs back into the game, desperate to find something worth knowing. Meanwhile, in the next videos, our favorite Hawaiian shirt wearing Natalia is fanboy fun. He watches the Hawaiian master video, noting that the movements are impressive, no matter how many times he gets them. He tells his guildmate that the guy looks utterly familiar, wondering if they have met before. A stunning woman with red hair and a purple dress approaches him. This is Theo from the Red Bulls Guild, and she's clearly tired of hearing about this crush. She points out that Hercules has been a hot topic, so with the stranger he didn't think he known. Manuel argues that a ghost can prove. He explains that ghost can use creativity. The ARK is so real, but Kirby moves with zero feet. He's also mesmerized by how Kirby trained the skeleton, falling at a different level compared to other influencers. Manuel starts daydreaming about what it would be like to fight or make the world, but Kirby shuts that down. He tells him to stop being a Bill reminds him that over 200,000 people bought life to the career of Red Bulls and over 9 minutes. Matador switches into pro mode as the system counts down for a dungeon gate spawn, ordering all members to prepare for battle. Back in the Newton town, the vibe is significantly less epic. Urban is at the Raiders Association, failing this time, because there are absolutely zero good quests available. He slams his fist and head against the table in frustration. They enter town for only offering quests like Food or finding lost cars. He realizes he might have to go to YouTube before the review starts. Suddenly, the old man with the ice scar approaches him. Urban has heard him as the adventurer of the Fema Mountain and asks for a moment of his time. Urban mentions hearing about a group found in a cave. He seems to be a werewolf with strange eyes. Urban plays dumb, but the old man continues, explaining that there is a high chance Urban encountered a monster exposed to the power of the corrupt one. Urban's internal ears forgot the dimension of the main quest build. Urban explains they haven't figured out who the corrupt one is, but their power is causing monsters to go on rampages. The Raiders Association has put a bounty on the investigation. Urban immediately turns on the charm, thinking that the old man wants to risk and volunteers to assist in capturing that up people faster than everything he has done. This screaming internally with excitement because this is a hidden quest. The old man hesitates. It's too early for Urban to go against his power, but our boy interrupts him mid-sentence, which out of that it would be much. Urban sighs and agrees to give it a chance. He tells Urban to find a person named Victor at the castle to the village, and offers to write a letter of invitation. Once Window pops up, you find it in a sugar letter, and it rewards the seal. It's down the door. And Victory isn't just some random things. It's one of the 7 disciples of the group. Just wants to be thinking because he picks out the greatest seal books. Urban realizes his Rising Star title has an overlap with the main quest to trigger this gold opportunity. If he does this right, he won't have to worry about taking material for him. But first, he remembers he has some housekeeping. The forest and causes his skeleton to here, summoning his big bull and voting for him. He decides to reward the little guy for his hard work by using the werewolf skull item. The system asks if he wants to strengthen the skeleton warrior and cooking foods. The skeleton gains the traits of a werewolf and the costume bonus to toughness. Urban then equips the necklace with a toughness tracker, using his own stats to get there's a friendly gun and shouts skeleton fragment. With this time, he throws 2 more fragments and boom, 2 baby skeletons. That's the power taken for which skeleton stands. Shocking. The chief announces that from now on, the gun will fight his victim and tells them to get along. But the skeleton is half happy.
When a shopping cart smashing a gun thing, we worried enough to try to get in such a small plane.
Life of a problem from the shopping cart.
It feels good to get going there. It feels good to get.
Wonders what monsters are around him. In the forest, 1125 barricades, and our boy is watching his line while moving up. He's standing for a split second before smiling. He moves on his hand, and watches as one of the skeletons comes to his face. But he's saying anything, the skeleton gets swatted away from the line and he's thrown out the fight. He screams at them, he found such a painful attack for him, and shot that he can aim from one spot. Immediately, the skeleton tries the exact same frontal assault and gets launched into the scratch pad, and then becomes easy. Why they're copying the failure of the sky. Then ARK skeleton baby rise, posting the news to the pulse. She was suffering legend because it makes his baby child like option to the reality is cruel, and the bear snacks the fabulous skeleton away just as easily. Crushing both its bones and Parkinson's babies. Our boy is beyond his path, screaming that they are brainless and innocent, which is they are skeletons, but orders to put their heads back on because glass is inside. The skeletons sit on their knees and unclenching. Then hear the crash of eye while we're left with them. It explains like a fiction here that monsters obviously defend against attacks they can see them, so they need to protect the blind spot. He asks them what they thought would happen charging into the front, but the skeletons just look confused. They give up because there's a video that's just missing off them. He realizes that while he's still rendering this, how some of these skeletons thanks to the running tracker trees, the problem is that they do not work together at all. He has a flashback to the fight, realizing that they all share a high bond. Even if one learns to attack, they all attack. But if he passes for coordination, their real bone brain short circuit. Since he haven't learned teamwork, they cause cripple the man at the Sunday Flare actually force him forward because they just get in each other's way. Besides, no to reach level 20, but won't be able to make painful fighting moves for a while because he wants to swap. The skeletons look shocked and devastated that they are disappointed in that. He tells them to get up because they are training all the way to the next castle. He ties himself to the fact that he can't sit back and relax like a cover. He finally makes a couple of shoots like a crowded cavern filled with desperate players. Suddenly, a man with green paper eyes, and the people chilling in the lobby go absolutely feral, walking to him like zombies trying to get a piece of him. They shout over each other, thinking to know what quest he got, and our boy is shocked by the sheer desperation of these hunters. He thinks these creatures don't even try to work hard on their own, and just want to reach the top off other people's enemies. Someone shouts at Urban. He has a good quest, and our boy bluntly tells them to fuck off. Agency absolutely cannot let these guys find out he's doing the Henry quest, so he quietly presents his letter of recommendation to the guard. The guard is on the second floor, causing the zombie crowd to scream in jealousy. He managed to let up the video in his party. Perkins is intending to find, working to form a long-lasting relationship with his NPCs and David. So orders with piles and piles of books everywhere. Under a massive stack of literature, a man asks who he is, and then he doesn't remember having before. This messy order ends in him, and Perkins introduces himself, explaining the thing with Perkins' recommendation. Henry notes that he still looks like a trainee, but he thinks he must be skilled for his help. Our boy blushes, honestly training at his luck, but internally, he just wants to leave. The Henry hands over the rewards and still looks like and still looks at his help. Perkins blushing with excitement, feeling like he just got two super rare skills, and starts to thank him. But then Henry cuts him off cold, saying their business is done, telling him to take care of him back. His team announces the quest is complete, and Perkins panics because he didn't go through all this trouble just for a one-night stand with his enemies. For more, Perkins shouts to the quest. The boy quickly finishes the consent. He grabs his hand before he smiles and he super questions. Perkins makes a new quest called Enemies, and he requires him to break it, and he rewards him at the time. Our boy sees their shop, realizing he can trade himself after the Meanwhile, down in the town, the players are gossiping about a man dressed in an incredibly expensive, full-on armor. One player is impressed by the gear, and no complex signals. Honestly, he is striking his eyes. The enemy that this is the place where Apollo is a hero. A him is left the door right in his face. Picking up only total shock that he just got seen, and his eyes, he realizes this egg at the nest quest has absolutely zero reward, and he questions his life choice about that. Before he can spiral further, the zombie crowd swarms him, screaming that he needs a quest and trying to grab him. Suddenly, the armored knight with the green eyes steps in, parting the sea of desperate noobs and asking for a quiet word. Perkins tells him to talk, with a knight of experiences, addressing him as Mr. Hobblemans. Perkins is shook that his cover is blown so easily, but he lets himself be dragged into a dark back alley. The knight deactivates his helmet for a game thinking some cool warrior, but actually looks like a nervous cobra bug. Perkins analyzes it and realizes he has time up with the cycle and he acts like a total idiot. When the butler asks if he just received the quest from a Henry, Perkins immediately cuts him off, shouting and asking who the hell he thinks he is. He decides to escalate the drama to 10, putting the butler with the finger, and on the line and fight right now. Perkins breaks the aggressive and works, miraculously. The butler finds him, unfortunately for the next day. Perkins grabs his hand and shakes it, and puts his internal work cleared off and sees that he can. Perkins walks up, a shadow figure appears with a butler. Butler stops, Lenny Hergen is definitely not a skilled player because he carelessly extended an arm with the war watch, a rookie mistake that leaves him vulnerable. They confirm that the egg of the nest is indeed part of the main corrupt conquest, but we decide Hergen is too much of a scrub. However, joke is on them because our boy was watching from a window above the whole time. He realizes these guys are part of a massive organization, and that the egg quest is way more important than the gospel. Realizing that if he continues the quest, he can run into the streets, leading his two careers on a definite hiatus to avoid traffic. Speaking of people ruining his life, he fights the terrifying Thunder Queen, Charles Alden, who is currently in a very bad mood. Her secretary, Parks, reports that Instagram applicants were all trash, and the queen demands an update on Hotmail. Terrified, the secretary lies and says he's thinking of joining another girl because he hasn't responded. He's so pissed she literally crushes the glass bottle with her hair. She starts changing clothes right in front of him. Instead of applicant, by tomorrow morning or else. The secretary scurries away, sighing about her boss's terrible personality. Back in the game, Perkins heads to the Lizard Swamp. Using that since the quest is about him, the monster has to be a reptile worker. He decides to test out his new skill, Dragon's Head, on this suppressed skeleton. He grabs his helm on, and the skeleton turns form, gaining glowing red eyes, a red aura, and green horns. Perkins is hyped, thinking the design is sick, and confidently orders the skeleton to attack him, so they can power. Unfortunately, our boy once again failed to meet the fine print in the skill description. This is a special note warning that there is a chance the summon will lose its sanity and go absolutely feral. But the vibes turn catastrophic immediately. The skeleton lunges with genuine murderous intent, and Perkins barely has time to react before he gets caught off guard. He panics and delivers a desperate uppercut that sends the skeleton's skull flying straight up into the air, the headless body of flop onto the ground. Perkins stares at the pile of bones, asking if he just screamed at him, and once he just got scanned by bug skill. Just then, a level 30 lizard man comes from the swamp, and Perkins decides to stop beating up his own friends, so he'll test something. He's killing him, and he's going to his own heart, including the summons from actual chest plates. He realizes the madness health boosts the stats by 20%, which is huge. The powered up skeletons look absolutely menacing, and don't really, and honestly, they are shelling through the enemy like a hot knife through butter. falls face first, discussing the button, getting blood all over the place. She turns to turn. All the books with only this contrast to help her son finish the second. Turn out the slave guy behind the power lever, only stranded in a hideout. Water monsters. Inside, shows more. She dropped the victim clothes, crying out that she hurt her leg because of the monsters. She started taking rush over like a knife in shining armor. I people have this use. No man can just help them. But her confused over the her and just walking. Ignoring her existence. No man is cool. She cannot believe that a top tier beauty is being treated like a toy. She starts screaming, excuse me, and to be back, and to force her again. Releasing towards something so bad against her, gathering her future mass and title. Bertie tries to focus on Barbie, but she's relentless. She follows him around, doing big pumps and throwing herself into different damsels and stress folks on the ground. Practically then Bertie gets annoyed, thinking that if she can do it, she could probably say it, and decides to move the bathroom to escape. She finally turns around and asks what she wants. It's not a shy act. But then she drops her sword in the swamp and asking if she can do it. Bertie tells her to get it and get lost, sending the skeleton to fetch away. Maybe thanks and sweet, but behind his back, she's feeling like a queen. She wonders what's happening. Rather than move back, longer too slow. He grabs her and pulls her. Swamp water. She screams. Her blood guards are swarming in this insult, but he just laughs and points behind her. She turns around.
Why am I still burning up?
Tells her she needs to do a better job and she wants to stand there because he's off her confidence. He walks away, one of the skeletons screamed out, but maybe one of the skeletons is trying to create some definitely determined, having learned a wrong lesson from coach. Bergen and his friends kill it for learning new things. The system notifies him that player Leah has died, and Bergen is thrilled to get experience points for a kill he didn't do. He stalks at her earlier threat, betting his life that someone like her definitely doesn't have bodyguards. But we cut to a dark room elsewhere, filled with menacing men wearing people Leah Van Love merchandise. Implying our boy might have just picked the hornet's nest. Down in the swamp, Ruth is less epic battle and more traffic range. Bergen uses the sword through the chest of one of India's defeated families. He's lying on the ground bleeding out. Yet, he's gonna still have the audacity to play the take revenge for this theory, but he's the kindness for women. Bergen's at the I'm impressed with him all. Why is he going so far for a woman to thank you? He asks the guy who's going to you should post the extra into the car. She starts laughing at night. Superman does it because he loves her. That Jim is the strongest stat in order. Bergen decides he has heard enough cringe for one lifetime and slashes through, making the conversation with Jim Bergen. He thinks to himself that he thought the girl was just walking about her bodyguards, but it turned out she really did have an army of Sims at her disposal. We get a glimpse of how this happened. Ricky fired crocodile tears to her fan club, letting people necromancer have her unprovoked. While that was one night to the rest of the kidnappers, this is notifies him. He's got a necklace with copies, a rare item that sells for a whopping 100,000 won. Bergen uses it. His eyes quickly turn to dollar signs. He declares that love is the chief way to convince ambassadors with their generous donation. He's stunning. Thanks to the divine ship, they make the excitement of people and cheerleaders. Probably hoping for a cut of profits. This is the best plan of another Navy bodyguards arrives. Let me feel these guys get play bodyguards. They play you run a Discord server for years. One of them spots her. They define him as his name. Bergen. I don't know. Probably shouts that yes. Crash that kills the again and tries to thank his life. But his enthusiasm dies instantly when he sees just how many of them there are. Realizing he can't 1v100 and hires the other. He turns to kill and screams away one of the keepers left. Wonders how one would have managed to brainwash his friend. He doesn't have time to process his knowledge, so he heard shout that he suspects his guilt son. Despite the zeal of himself, he is unleash the power of love. They're not different. He attacks the skeleton with theater and floating hearts. Bergen's horrified, thinking there is no way such a sad skeleton should exist in the Earth. But the grid is too powerful. It destroys the skeleton. Bergen realizes he is outletting the power. He's throwing his fingers into the environment and swamp. He realizes this place was unpacked for him. Getting blood catches up, spotting one of the skeletons. But instead of fighting, the skeletons are literally dancing under some of this revolt, putting on a full performance. The nerds are confused. They're insulting that the necromancer is mocking them to dance off in the middle of chase. The power of love dies that won't be able people, much as they do from the dance and runs. But suddenly, the gigantic creature emerges from behind the skeletons. A massive tongue wraps around the nerd and hits him in one go, silencing the power of love forever. The rest of the club watches in terror as the snake lost in the swamp, feels himself. Bergen watches from the shadows, putting two ends together. This is the nest where the system notifies him that the skeleton warrior is being destroyed. So that the skeleton warrior is being destroyed. Eating the dragon has finished his appetite, and is heading back to the universe. Bergen dives behind the nest, realizing he has no time to search for it. He grabs a rock, trying to get the right height, and continues to sneak out before he becomes visible. Back in the swamp, one of the nerds is popping out the door, struggling with his last breath after the dragon is Bergen arrives, struggling. The guys watch, and the nerd falls to the basket. Bergen points his sword at the guy's face and set the record straight. The boy playing along to their people, but here's the bottom line. Something that next time, they won't get off. There should be a warning to both the fan club and that one. He jumps over the fallen losers, swearing that if they come after him again, it will be all-out war. Deciding it's time to cash in, Bergen contacts a player who is looking for the dragon and offers to sell the location for 100,000 gold. The player thinks it's a threat, but Bergen assures that he's led such as Bergen returns to a chaotic library and enters the game. It's the right idea, so he doesn't have to The excitement shouts that he will devote his body and soul to his old opportunity, but Henry cuts him off, saying not right now. The NBC claims Herman is still too weak and shouldn't be given such a quest in the first place. Herman can't. It's too low level to continue, but Henry offers a loophole. He says that if Herman begs to use the cycle, he might be willing to help him. Herman realizes this guy is a total scammer with a ego problem, but he swallows his pride and does it. In a flashback of Herman, he usually has to create the cycle, but he tends not to be able to maximize the comparison. Meanwhile, Herman is celebrating back to the comes to the rich executive who died from earlier. The captain is grateful because they would have died without him and tries to offer extra compensation, but the rich guy refuses, citing the rules. The rich guy demands every item from the nest is promised, and the captain agrees, thinking there is nothing of value there anyway. The rich guy smirks, thinking he is outsmarted for him, and he's got to snap the corruption cylinder himself. He swings for the ability to boss is still alive, but when he rises, now in the real world, he checks his bank, trying to educate the population. He decides to order a beefsteak and celebrate. He has some passion mates, and he will supper. But the moment the money hits his account, he vanishes and off his desk, leaving him in a terrible balance. He feels like vomiting blood, shouting that his steak dinner is turned into air, because he's still broke despite working his ass off. Roman messages him, asking if he's quitting YouTube, and he went silent. Morgan realizes he was staying quiet to avoid the stalkers, but then asks himself why he should care when he is about to starve to death. He decides to fuck him. He's going to do his own thing and ignore the haters. Back in the game, he enters a creepy place filled with dead bodies and ominous vibes. The system announces he has entered the forest of the dead. Morgan steps into the forest of the dead, and the vibes are immediately immaculate for a horror game, but terrible for mental health. He admits that it's stupid no matter how many times he comes here, but his content creator brain is already turned. He realizes his viewing atmosphere is perfectly flippant and exactly addicted to the universe. The perfect experience like real atmosphere. He tells him that he's taking it. But first, he uses the sponsor of the game. Some of the skeleton. This is what he makes up for that scam record. The still guy is wearing a cape and blushing timidly, which he extremely terrified to meet his new phone brothers. Harvey notes that while the mage can use advanced spells, he keeps up his mana like starving child of a buffet, which is going to be a problem since his mana pool is currently crowded. Just then, a skeletal hand bursts out of the grave, and a group of level 13 skeleton monsters crawls out to say hello. If it's still attacking, Harvey skeletons will be total shock. If the enemies, then look at themselves, and you can have this existential crisis happening in real time with the bad guys exactly like they are confused, wondering if they are about to crash or something. Perkins snaps them out of it, asking what the hell they are doing in order for them to hit the enemy's head. The skeletons are horrified that they can kill their own time, Perkins in fear behind Perkins' legs. Perkins yells at them to stop using time, and they have a schedule. Finally, one of the skeleton jumps forward to his tears and red sockets and slashes him. The trauma is gone. The enemy skeleton just resembles itself to life, which scares the living daylights out of Perkins. Inside, explained by the tyrant's figure that normal attacks don't look like it. These are a rare item called the Witcher's Hammer, which is strength by 35, and decides to demonstrate. He smashes the enemy's head clean off and crushes the body, cheering home run, like he's at a baseball game. He turns to his traumatized minions, who are pale with fear, and gives them an ultimatum. He declares time attack. They have to hunt down 100 skeletons in 100 minutes. If they fail, he threatens to leave them alone in this forest forever. Motivated by sheer terror, the skeletons immediately start eating at the enemies, crying while they kill. The farming goes surprisingly well, with the system expanding level up their mutations. Perkin is thrilled, thinking they are adapting faster than expected, and this video is going to be a total hit. He considers testing Romani early to crack, but then, here's that heavy thud. A level 35 skeleton warrior appears. This is your hundred battered home. Armored and carrying massive weapons. He stares at the turret monster, and instead of seeing a threat, he's running short circuits. He realizes the monster is making like a cow, and suddenly, all he can see is a walking stick. Determination burns in his eyes. He sprints toward the monster, screaming he can't get light. He's literally debating whether to grill it or have steak while running the battle. He stares at Morgan and smashes the back seat. That's a shockwave of destruction. Morgan barely got this, but the head screaming enough to almost kill him. He manages to slice off the arm and pull the trigger. The skeleton is replaced, the weapon falls from the almost weapon. He hangs minions kill the boss, shattering into pieces. Morgan sighs with him, asking if everyone is okay, but such that the highly bone starts shouting at him. Smiling, then says the guy is so impatient because he still has one move left. From the backlands, the shy little skeleton mage finally steps up and hoops the enemy with a gigantic fireball. The system confirms the kill, and Morgan is ecstatic, calculating that this clip alone is worth 10,000 boosts. He rubs his stomach, feeling that he is hungry, and wondering how he should cook his imaginary meat. But the celebration is cut short. A system notification pops up warning that the field boss had detected the death of his underling and is waiting. A massive magic circle appears, and out rises the golden skeleton, a level 40 boss monster. This thing is a nightmare. It has multiple hands touching the ground, and it's the first mage-class boss monster they have faced. Perkin realizes this is the infamous Snoopy killer, a boss that ends careers. He suddenly remembers that the strong condition for this boss was defeating a large number of skeletons, a detail he completely forgot in his hungry space. He knows this is the jackpot opportunity, but it's risky. He decides to win and quickly buffs his army. He turns around to give the order, shouting skeletons TR, but Snoop's dead. The skeletons are gone. The system grandly informs him that some of them have been undone due to a lack of mana. He stands there, leaving alone in front of a raid boss. One of those that will advance the day and talk about other things. Looking good, keep it up. Only act like a choo-choo. They have top-notch customer service. People really care. This is the project that takes off. Hey, look, you guys. that some of the new skeletons are and forcing the summons to come. Besides, Big has no choice but to get his hands dirty for the first time in life. He creates slot on, powering up his whole body to face off against the golden skeleton soul. The boss immediately starts blasting him. It's dodging for his life, knowing a single can send him back to the spawn. He realizes why this boss is called the spell spam is relentless. Perfect decides he can't outdamage the boss. Disarm him completely. He uses his helping hammer to smash one of the skeleton's hands. Using that without hands, he can't cast spells. The skeleton looks shocked and evil, which is a hilarious motion for a face with no skin. Britain starts evil, planning to break every single bone through his eyelids. But the golden skeleton isn't going down without fight. The system warns that the boss has seen through Perfect and starting to steal them. Suddenly, the skeleton shakes his remaining hands between the steel, and his terrifying purple aura erupts from his body. Perfect is shook, asking what the hell is going on as the boss unleashes a brand new attack. Our boy is running away screaming. Wondering if the devs dropped the balance patch because he definitely doesn't remember his attack level. He manages to dodge by a first breath, frustrated that he's trying to hold the attack pattern to make the years since he went to this boss. Without his summons and fighting a boss with him, usually using he has to rely on pure instinct and dodge everything until he finds it. When just as he thinks he's safe, the giant skeletal hand grabs him out of thin air and gets him in the hands. First, the luckiest experience, the boss confers a finishing blow. But our boy is not a Christian. Dropping the boss's stats by 13%. Perfect moves out of the defeat grip, making the boss for giving him the perfect go. There's an incredibly strong punch that causes an actual explosion. Swiftness declares the boss defeated. The golden skeleton crumbles, and the system showers him with rewards, nearly 93,000 gold, a level up to 36, and the tiny skeleton destroyed. Perfect laughs, admitting that if the fight had gone on for 10 more minutes, he would have been used. He checks his status window and realizes he has recently leveled up, and his strength is triple digits. He's thrilled about hitting level 36, but his excitement damage to his 60 mana is only at 141. He wants to build his skeleton, but without that mana to use up, he's just got to stay. He wants better gear to fix his stats, but he's broke. Deciding to worry about it later, he sends them off footage to Romani and Cisco. When he gets to dinner, he's definitely going to need to stop. Back to Romani, he watches the video and so how he hit a higher level boss without making a single hit, all while improvising on the spot. She calls him talented and jumps around her apartment like she just won the lottery. She sits back down, realizing the Roth is so good and brainstorms a fight. She considers the man who dominates skeletons, but decides on something far more iconic, Emperor of Silver Blade. Back at the Banks Castle branch of the Raiders Association, our boy returns looking like he just wrestled with garbage bucket boss. And Henry turns around and genuinely asks why he looks like a homeless person. Perkins stares at him, wondering whose fault that actually is, considering the suicide mission he just got sent by. He sarcastically laughs and demands his reward immediately, because he is not in the mood for games. And Henry hands over a skill book called Osteology Mastery, which is a super rare necromancer skill, not even find on the market. Perkins uses his stats and newly rules. It increases all skeleton stats by 5%. Most importantly, using the ability for summoning and maintaining them by 10%. It even allows him to summon one additional skeleton. Perkins is ecstatic, because mana management has been a complete disaster up until now. And yet, he seems to think his life just got way easier. But it didn't isn't that. The stats on this thing are insane. His aquatic food item that gives plus 2 to all stats, but if one with the necklace he already has, it boosts all stats by 21. Perkins is salivating. Realizing this is the kind of gear reserved for the first people to clear the main quest line. He blushes with excitement, reaches out to grab the ring, and then like a good little boy. But just as his fingers are about to touch it, a Hickory pulls it away. The old mage dodges and says that, now that he thinks about it, he can't just hand it over. Perkins stands there in shock as a Hickory adopts the creepy persona of a playful schoolgirl, looking and saying, "Cash me again." Perkins snaps, squeaking again, as he chases the crazy old man out of the room. And he springs away, loving every second of this, while Perkins runs after him, completely out of breath and cursing the fact that he can't kill him because he is an essential NPC. They end up in a forest area where Hickory finally stops to drop some more. He tells Perkins that he lost contact with the ancient in Hickory and needs to be visited in Newcastle. Perkins is annoyed but decides to let the old man live this one time. Newcastle is in a high-level area, so he needs to grind up a message from Romani. She tells him his urgent news and needs to check the golden skeleton video immediately. Well, he's in it. His brain immediately starts listing all the expensive cutting meat in existence. Tomahawk, ribeye, filet mignon, lobster, caviar, and pork belly. He's absolutely ecstatic. He realizes he's finally getting something that isn't instant noodles or sadness. It's a total jackpot, far better than he expected. But before he can log out to go stuff his face, another notification pops up. It's the donation of 1 million won from the letter of his gift. The message is from their scouting team. Politely asking Mr. Hobblehouse for a meeting since he hasn't replied to their DMs. None of the hunters want to recruit him. Why is the guild led by the woman who ruined his life? Chow Sullivan. For members, they were persistent in his previous life. It seems for them to screw off. They didn't join them to ruin his life. But then, a woman quickly hits him. He said the exact same thing in past life. That flashback to his first friend. The fact that they never came out of the world. So very is how they all know strong saying their next destination is Reed Castle, and they will be training on the way. Cheerfully explains that the training consists of and if they fall behind, it can be. The skeleton takes red head and starts sprinting in terror. Either non-existent eye battles or just like that, laughing like a maniac. Meanwhile, it comes to Thunder King herself, Chao So. She's sitting in a dark room, but instead of a chair, she's casually lounging on a pile of monster corpses because apparently she likes her furniture dead and stuff. A man in a blue cloak named Peach asks what she's doing. She talks about progress on the market complex. Well, she thinks they haven't found the food yet, which pisses her off because the Hydra Guild is ahead. She calls the situation dangerous. How should she figure out some figures with leaders and top their guild? Pissed off, saying there's no way she's going to those figures, while Hatch decides to help her here. Our next slants pass it back to Hatch on the field, despite her box, telling the men charge them back. Just like that, the man comes back and looks for it. He helps the board market and puts something in his market. This is the concept of skin wrapping mastery. Monster remains to be seen. It sounds gross, but okay. It's really warned that if Tito gets too much damage, he repents. But our boy is just excited about the future. This is perhaps he wants to use a skeleton warrior to want to strengthen himself. And he shouts yes without thinking. The SCP skeleton warrior, and it plus 5 units. Naturally, his first instinct to technically prevent the buff is to grab a sword and stab himself in the arm. He still discovered that it's zero damage. Maybe it works better than expected. Meanwhile, his sister is standing there watching their dad self-harm. Down by his behavior. Ignore their judgment. Moves on to the next book and learns Curse of Sloth Master. He still slows down and targets movements, while a possible man can target. It's not essential for fighting. He drops 4 against skeleton baby and decides it will be good for combat. Finally, look at the last and most important book, Summon Golem. This is the harsh one again and one of these. The crowd rumbles and the gigantic golem rises up. Our boy is coming. He wants the next answer to the Summon Golem, and notes that this big guy is going to
Select varieties of Kroger found on. Select varieties of fresh fruit.
Dodo, Dodo. This way, Dodo. Come on. You are an idiot. Gonna use this for different goals, I think.
But only 4 showed up, which is a pretty sad decision. That alas, any for this turnout is careful given how much the popular is. Liberal Donald field is identified and corrupt copy, and is one of the final rated copy. Matador is shocked because nobody else was even close to find Hydra found a secret method. Merc slams his fist off the table. They will hog all the sponsorships as the plan. The Thunder King interrupts him, telling him to shut up and sit down if he's scared because he's annoying. Merc squares up, asking if she wants to fight him. Matador steps in and ties the dark, reminding them that fighting each other only helps fight. He proposes an anti-Hydra alliance. The 4 guilds will promise to ceasefire until the corrupt concept is done and share no information with outsiders. Matador admits it is. They have no things. Merc believes, but they are too if they don't stop fighting. The equipment turns, the Thunder King is in silence. Later, we see her in the shower, and is apparently, that is where villains are living. Other guilds in the chapter one box. She realizes she has to be working, but she orders her guild to watch out for the box. Now they run out with the first attack. That is the greatest association. I'll wonder if they should have Twice to his panic attack, he has a time limit of exactly 29 days, 9 hours, and 33 minutes. First, he can start screen that he uses that time. found that he wasn't like the time. He likes that time of being passed away when his baby was 25 months. And this is great, but she was like the friend. So this is what's meant to last. Spiraling, not the main quest, but also got the not really that suicide points. However, besides throwing the bone, one of these night children character not being nearby, the night wonders if the hype build will keep the main quest line soon. Noting that if they will leave every other build of events. The Witcher finds that other top 30 builds are struggling to complete certain quests. Then the night asks the $1 million question. What happens to all ongoing quests if the correct account is defeated? Urban smirks, realizing that if the chapter ends, his impossible quest might just disappear. He usually doesn't have to go to the forest after all. He takes straight out of his flag. There were two guys who were observing the castle from outdoors. One of them complains that sitting there watching the video for hours is driving him crazy. Makes himself suspicious. I wonder what he's going to do. Walks up. Chapter yourself. Yeah. Chapter the left on his face was red piece of gold. That's the gold piece. Yeah, it's what that is. And he explains that he's just on his way by the boss of the house. After he meets David, David screams that he does not use his path, but James just decides to saying he has an emergency and telling them to leave themselves. As James walks away, he and Curtis Nato being held back by his partner, whispers into his watch. He turns at hyperspeed command. He found a stick to while the Red Bulls HQ, Matador and Theo are shocked that he knew about the corrupt complication of he knows that she thought he was friends since he was sent to Goddess and had her. Matador suspects that he was leaving from within Hyper, but none of them are interrupts by comes, saying they should be forced them out and suggest they start with by time. Matador, the sensible one, holds to it. Instead, comes there, Hyper's main force starts it, and they can't afford a full-scale war. He joins himself, because Matador is just trying to flatter him by saying Bill needs him, but it couldn't still. Suddenly, a shadow drops from the sky with a massive explosion. James finds himself with a sword pointed at his head. Looking at the Chihuahua, the thunder has arrived. You see a girl with tiny nails holding the many colored and painful dot. Back with her, which is the most pathetic fight scene in history. A bear attacks Gold. Gold prepares to fight, noticing so slowly that the bear just stands there watching. The awkward silence is threatening, and Golan knows the path of the speed of nothing but the bear eventually loses patience and just attacks Golan, while the skeleton is watching from the sideline. It's by the master. Purpose is that everyone survives so much. Starting to dance. He walks up to the bear and smacks it down under him, because he has purple things like watching. On the screen, a hyper-represented announces they have gone to corrupt Cal and are playing the ring. Curtin stares at the screen, praying desperately that Davis within him. The representative needs to announce him. Our boy hanging on to the life. Our boy Erkin is so excited he's laughing at him. How down days to go to school. Which days is quick, but it makes sense because Hydra must be sweating bullets after. He watches the goal in practice and slowly practice on bear and shoots himself and he doesn't need to work. They are ahead of everyone. And let's do the quest.
One should about one should about is 2 times more absorbent. Less. More done with one. That's about interrupted. What takes those kids? See, that's not true. So mathematically, I can see that working reliability and place fast one experience. Fine, stop it.
Possible deadline vanishes. Like the ends. Days later, as you see a person fail, a Hydra member is dying on the ground, and the system quickly announces, there, all of this the Hydra build down. It cuts Erkin's face, and oh boy, it's a masterpiece of disappointment. It's like disappointing vision of his food is brought home to nights. The sheer judgment radiating from his black and white expression is quickly announcing him. Bruce is bone and rage, screaming and serving. He asks if they are beating him, why didn't Russia think they were just going to bail him out? He spirals. What if they overestimated them, and he thinks to find a map and just then, it's notification. Red Bulls have started the live stream. Thanks. Realizing that Red Bulls means Matador Chev, and Steve decides after the failure, they must be going right. On the screen, Matador is giving a speech to his army. He acknowledges that the enemy is strong enough to wipe out Matador, and that they will on supplies, beating their success rate is easy. But then he shouts that Red Bulls have taken the challenge from him, and the army goes wild, just as Red Bulls, that they are as one. He's back. There's Red Bulls starts to after the spot. And then Matador blocks him Yoba. He uses their partner for the old master of Thunder Hunters, Thunder and Shiro. He's gone in the war. They talked about the movie that day where Matador is shot with himself as he wants to shoot, but she couldn't find that they are all after him. Matador then reported his man back to the gun, and she dismissed the experts in the money. She was super business, asked about the corrupt Matador was not good enough. Absolutely yes. and she slams her sword onto the table and it's off her hand.
Oh, they were level 95. Oh.
She points up for the final blow, shouting it's over. It gets pushed to the stomach by a massive technique. Why would screams her name? She's done for. She's scared. She's terrified. She feels the beat. Flashes through the tentacle and lands a killing blow hitting. That her last notice. Realizing she is scared of the thought. The system announces that Red Bulls and Thunder Hunters have created the upside. After watching this with mixed feelings, he's feeling that he places Charles Young after him. But he shrugs it off, telling himself it doesn't matter to kill the boss as long as he finds him. He smirks with a determined look, declaring that she should enjoy it while it lasts, but the rough one until last week she minutes. After all, back on the Bouquet Mountains, our boy Cricket stands first. Our loving and his name is Cages, and his dream has become the strongest and revenge makers of superhero. This is the perfect cinematic happening to scene until reality. And that's why stuff like this keeps happening here every day as we play out to see this nothing happening. Literally being chased by a stampede of level 60 wildlings. Then a flashback to a few hours earlier. Burton arrives at the entrance of the Bouquet Mountains, which is surrounded by a red area. This skeleton is probably, but Burton explains that this is a block field and certainly kills certain vision. However, since the corrupt town quest line for chapter 1 is here, the entrance automatically. This is notifies Anthony's component title, the first step into the Bouquet Mountains, giving him +2 to all stats and +1 to class-related stats. Proving his will, saying it is his time to shine because nobody else figured it out yet. Confident repels his skeletons that go, only to get faced with a herd of ferocious wild wolves. This is when he points out they are level 16. Perfect. He's currently sitting at a humble level 41, but is absolutely shocked. Back in the present, Kirk is running for his life, wondering how he was so unlucky to run into a high-level mob in second. He realizes he can't waste time because other players will figure out their routes. Desperate, he decides to fight. He has small skeletons and big adventures. The skeletons jumping heroically, only to rip his red things. This is announcing the skeleton has been destroyed after taking too much damage in just one hit. Kirk is shocked, but decides to use the versus slot skill. This the boys in the top. They won't be able to move for 5 seconds. The perfect opening to avenge his fallen comrades. He turns to attack with a dramatic flare, but before he can take a step, he slips on a banana peel. Yes, a banana peel. He falls flat on his face, losing the entire 5-second window of his curse. He's mortified, asking what the hell just happened. From the top of the tree and armor monkey level 50, he's eating bananas and laughing his ass off. This is because that this monster likes to play friends on these. Kirk is furious, shouting, "You have acted, come back." But before he can get his revenge, he turns the curse on the boys in the and he's like, he's hard to right again. But he comes to the gun more. Suddenly, a laser-like arrow shoots through the boys. Kirk is shocked that they all died in one hit. But the 6 archer didn't even shoot his axe to his hurt. Kirk escapes, realizing this isn't just in play. Meanwhile, the man points out a player wearing the white lava armor set to his black-haired friend. He was super expensive and ready for rankings. That's one of the 2 means that he slapped above the guy and talking to Shadow. Shadow says no, and that maybe he knows something to do. Which guy asks about hold on. The Shadow dismisses Kirk, saying he has just been uploading normal hunting videos about giant bears, so there is no way we can do that to happen these days. The Shadow says he's off to the super field for his helper job and told the Shadow to focus on finding first responders. Now to make the culprit play for destroying the balance of the world. Back in the forest, Kirk is sitting with his safety partner. The archer asks if he could decide to play next to the other players. And now leads the Rangers protecting the
Oh, shit.
How long tells Kirk to go back? This place is too big.
Hey.
Explains that the town is gone. Rough monsters are still roaming. How long is it? He has a suspect, but no evidence. He asks for his help in collecting. This is simple words for First, find out the location. All facts by 14. Kirk is ecstatic about getting 2 prayers and accepting. How long is it? Monsters. Kirk wants to do it. This is great for level 2. Since he the high level force earlier and started
Damn.
Then he remembers the next journey to the his eyes narrow, but he previous history before that. Mark is hoping to get that question. This is how this is serious. One person after person is not being moved with all the difference. Finding hysterically in chaos. One is like scrolling towards all the parents who comes to the vacation. But suddenly, there's from behind. It's just spring and just comes. One comes down noticing the dark with the face and money is dead. Mark swings his sword, but the look God is after the same off his nose. She sees her sword and sword. How is it getting 40 years ago? It's too fast. It's too fast. Making it impossible for his golems and besides the switch happens, he throws his sword right in front of his head. He's trying to get right into the lung car. This fire engine, from the side goes back black, making her get terrible. Ripper just smirks and falls to the second because the sword is just a thing. Behind the distracted bug, the golem winds up a punch that sends not only the punch, but also the entire team flying into distraction. This is the first time we're getting his glass and asks the queen for a seat. She smiles sweetly. Just very lucky. Promising to work hard in the future. Looking like a picture of humility. But the minute she steps out of the spotlight, the mask drops. She looks absolutely good. The Thunder Princess fangirls over her, praising how she saved the raid in the final wave hit. But the queen snaps back that she really did just get lucky. She admits they wouldn't have succeeded without the Red Bulls and realizes that to achieve total victory this time, she needs someone with actual skills. She orders the princess to contact Ash because there is something or someone they need to hunt down, and judging by her face, it's supposed to be a friendly chat. After the forest,
How do I get my stuff?
he stares at the broken handle, realizing his wallet is about to cry again. He's broke, so he decides to gamble his time by farming for monster gems, rare drops, and craft items. He calls that the gems from armor monkeys are great for crafting, so he vows to hunt every last one of them. The monkey's weird expression then makes his skeleton happy. I call so, our boys see them not from the horses. Then inside, it's not seeing the handle strong. It's falling, and for spells, might be just then,
AI creation platform.
a glitter decked out and incredibly expensive fighting limited one heroes and challenges him to finish it. He explains that he heard Herman is popular on YouTube, and figures meeting him will get him some clout. Herman realizes this guy is just a rich, attention-seeking loser, and tells him to buzz off because he is busy grinding. Herman is already pissed about the job rates and really doesn't have the patience for this nonsense. But then, Kyoki gets desperate and begs him, offering 5,000 gold just for the money. Herman pauses, thinks about how annoying this guy is, but then his accountant's soul hits over. He spins around with a blush and cute little dance, welcoming his new customer with open arms because, apparently, his dignity costs exactly 5,000 gold. We open with a scene that physically hurts to watch. This armored stranger decides to introduce himself by delivering a dance routine that is one part Pokemon, one part Sailor Moon, and 100% French. He announces that his name is Kyo, the hero of justice, and starts posing with removes his background because he is the main character. He knows his talent is being the center of attention, but we immediately cut to a flashback revealing the tragic truth. Nobody cares about it. While he's trying to look cool, random passersby are busy gossiping about how fun Aho Mask is to watch, ignoring our armored friend. Asking them to listen, but they just keep raving about our boy's new video. Just this Kyo is shown slamming his fists against the ground, assuming that Aho Mask is a bastard for burying him in the algorithm, even though they started at the same time. He cries that he has better items and a higher level, so he just cannot understand why the world loves Valiant Mask. Back in the present, he spots Firkin and realizes this is his golden ticket. He thinks that if he defeats the famous Aho Mask right here, he's still going to reach his fame for himself. Formal challenges our boy, offering 5,000 gold if Firkin wins. Firkin, whose morality can be bought for a corn ship, obviously agrees. But then things get weird. Instead of drawing his weapon, Kyo starts stripping. He takes off his expensive full body armor
Ryan.
and in the middle of the woods did nothing.
Guess what I just ran into? I just ran into Blue in her path.
But our boy just asks if he's really expecting to take maybe one serious. He hero charges in, shouting that there has been enough.
I don't think I can get my stuff back.
And Kirk realizes that despite the lack of points, this guy is actually dangerous. He conscious of claiming this and admits internally that he needs to head on.
Wait. They're fighting Triceratops right now. There's so many babies. Also, I figured out why there's a thing called bug repellent. Oh shit. I think they killed the Triceratops. But I also got another one of those spitter guys, and he was green, so I named him Mosshead. But he's also trapped over there.
But then our boy remembers these events. He's Kyo directly in the family troops, shouting "Where's my ass?" and telling the skeleton to get lost. Kyo, now beaten up and abandoned, dramatically yells his full name, Donkey Boy, and vows to return once he's worthy of being his friend.
Oh, never mind. I'm not going that way. It's a T-Rex.
shouting, but it's not scaling. Holding back to stop it from collapsing. Our boy feel like that man condition is but he just can't help himself. The only thought only for him is holding that managers at this place. The NBC has offered nearly 1,000 monthlies and hundreds of others, and it's progress in the but it's very interesting. But that excited about companies to spend all that service people. The NBC snaps him out of it, warning that the next mission is dangerous. He explains that Air Warriors have appeared near and we recall this. He asks Sergeant to bring back a weapon for evidence, nervously asking if Herman will be okay alone. Our boy immediately stands up, cutting the man off with pure arrogance, claiming he already knows exactly how to handle him. Cuts the woods, where Herman is hiding in the bushes, whispering that it is finally time to flex. He opens the auction window, and the shopping street begins. Once here, 50,000 gold on the skeleton snake's hat, and some staffers, and most of them. He's so excited that he literally drops to the ground and starts breakdancing, spitting on his head and shouting that this is what money feels like. He also rested his cash on a laundry list of skill books, declaring himself ready.
Gotta be kidding me. Shoot. I just spun near Raptor.
That is honestly concerning. We see the announcement making 4 or 5 people while skeletons stare at it with zero mercy. But just as they are about to secure the bag, shouts out, asking if they think they are listening to knowledge. This area belongs to the Apollo. You guys appear wearing questionable. One of them, who is front teeth so big they think their own zip code, asks if Pershing has a death wish. Perkins eyes, thinking they're just another group of losers. They introduce themselves
What the
as
hell?
the Apollo. But our boy just says, I see, and immediately slashes all 3 of them for a second off. He complains that he's attracting too many weirdos lately and walks away. But one of the defeated losers taps his watch, warning Perkins that he will regret touching their building. Cut to a scene straight out of a low-budget historical comedy. A man is sitting at the top of a staircase, petting a tiger while wearing enough rings to sink a ship. This Tiger King is furious that someone looked down on his name and orders his men to bring Perkins in him regardless of the cost. Back in the mountains, Perkins arrives at the boss area. He asks the team if they are ready, and in response, the skeletons strike a synchronized, flamboyant anime pose. Perkins yells at them to stop messing around because their warrior is broken. He taps his watch, shouting slot on, and powers up, declaring he is taking his main quest all by himself. Meanwhile, a man in a cloak is wandering through the woods, looking absolutely miserable. This is Hatch from the Thunder Hunter's Guild. He complains about being sent to stakes for groups working in combo match by boys, leaving me wondering if kidnapping is technically a crime. Suddenly, a massive level 65 King Wild Boar appears behind him. Hatch doesn't even turn around fully. He lazily casts a simple spell, and the massive beast is instantly obliterated. He continues moping, deciding that he really wants to quit his job, and he's aware that the keyboard is just around the corner. We're back with our boy Perkin, who's currently having a PTSD flashback in the middle of a boss fight. He remembers that in his past life, his guild failed this exact raid 6 times before barely switching by. He knows that if he messes up now, he'll just leave on the main quest, so the pressure is definitely on. He decides to be tactical for once. The plan is simple. Target the seams of the Bear Warrior's armor and strip it off. Confidently signals his skeletons to follow his lead and activates his shiny new passive skill, Muscle Modification. He shouts, "Let's go," and launches himself into the air for a devastating strike. But there is a tiny problem. He apparently sees a tutorial on how to control his new super strength. Instead of hitting the bear, he launches himself into the stratosphere, sailing away over the monster's head. He lands behind it with a thud, and we get a moment of pure, agonizing silence. The bear stops attacking, the skeletons stop rattling. Everyone, including the enemy, just turns to look at him with a mix of confusion and pity. The bear shakes off his confusion first and effortlessly smashes the skeleton into dust. The system notifies Perkin that his warrior has been destroyed, and our boy persists, realizing his two legs are super strong. He decides to come yet to his enemies.
Come on, y'all follow me. I led them a bit far away.
He decides he's done with finesse and throws a bone bomb. A massive explosion rocks the clearing, but when the smoke clears, the bear is still standing. Even worse, he uses battle cry to kill 50% of his health. Perkin is annoyed, realizing his boss is a damage sponge. He decides it's time to stop playing around and fight like a proper ninja. The skeletons look at him with eyes full of judgment.
How do you put a ping?
Perkin summons his golem. The massive rock monster appears, and the bear immediately sees him. But he's actually a trap. Perkin shouts, "Hearken," Golem's body into solid stone and trapping the bear's sword inside. With the boss disarmed, Hurricane agrees. He tells the bear not to blow its top yet because he has one free left. He signals for a massive fire attack and immediately regrets it. Unleashes a blast that engulfs both the bear and Harkin. Our hero is cut sick and furious, screaming at the mage to aim properly next time unless they strike again. Harkin decides strategy until free. He declares that the force remembers its wings and starts scanning magical bombs like a demon. After a series of explosions that make Michael Bay proud, the bear warrior finally collapses. The system announces the victory. Harkin earns over 100,000 gold and completes the quest while Wong's crown. He stands over the fading corpse, feeling triumphant. He managed to solo the boss that his entire guild struggled with in the past. He praises his skeletons for a job well done, but the ungrateful little piles of bones are gossiping amongst themselves. They chatter about how cowardly their master was, and point out that he didn't fight properly. Harkin is outraged. He shouts at them, one punch that if he had done a proper raid, he would have died 6 times too. Meanwhile, back at the tavern in the western base, he is significantly less victorious. He matched the 4 main from the Thunder Hunters, sitting alone and looking at his agent with fears. He's terrified because he still hasn't found Pommels. To make matters worse, Harkin is with Michael, letting him out with fanboys and making it impossible to find anything. He mutters that if he goes back empty-handed, Shiro will kill him. He uses his black company of a guild, looking disheveled and dead inside. Suddenly, his watch buttons. It's a call from the creator side of Shiro. Punch practically jumps out of his skin. He answers, stuttering and terrified, expecting to be fired or executed. But surprisingly, Shiro sounds nice. She says she has been thinking about it and admits that maybe asking him to search an entire mountain alone is too much. She praises his hard work and acknowledges he is thinking about it. Punch is stunned. He's genuinely touched by her kindness, hearing out as he asks if he can come home now. But Shiro isn't done. She sweetly replies that instead of him returning, she sends him help so they can find Pablo Max properly. Punch freezes. Before he can ask him to descend, the wall next to him explodes. He replies that
You gotta be kidding me.
she glares at him, furious that she got dragged out to the middle of the
Trying to figure out which one is worse. One raptor or 4 Tudons.
Notices that OK Mountain is getting crowded.
Cause they cause they keep on jumping on me. I died in the worst place possible then. Because on the other side of the river, I saw a T-Rex earlier. Or something like a T-Rex. I think there's like... Aren't there multiple things that look like a T-Rex?
Harkin is shocked. See what the hell just happened. From the bushes, Harkin talks the fallen order for making great crimes. It is Aki, the Thunder Princess, and Ash, as the rank 2 and rank 3 members of the Thunder Hunters Guild. He knows Haki's nickname is Mad Dog for a reason. She's loyal to a fault and absolutely terrifying. Ash, on the other hand, is a genius mage known as Ballista, because he never misses a target. Harkin realizes they are here to recruit him, and in his past life, these two were a massive pain in the ass. He's not killing them right now, but he knows he's outmatched. So he decides on the best defense, playing dumb. He jumps down from the tree and asks who Haho Mask is with a face so clueless it deserves an Oscar. Ai calls him a liar immediately, pointing out that everyone in the mountains knows Haho Mask because he has over 20 million views. She squints at him, noting that his crew looks suspiciously similar to the one in the videos, and asks if he is actually him. Harkin is sweating, stunned by her deductive skills, but Patch interrupts. He yells at Ponty, calling her an idiot for killing innocent players on pure suspicion. He asks about how they're going to conduct the next game, and she apologizes before they do.
No! Frick! Let me run! Run! I think they killed my, I think they killed Mosshead. Question, how strong are the monkeys? Yeah. You saying tiny monkeys? Are there bigger monkeys? I've been poisoned again. Well, I got one of those green supply drops. It gave me a purple shirt and a purple club.
tells him to stop looking for Hoppo Mask and focus on the main quest instead. Ash cries tears of joy, thanking her. After hanging up, Shiro leans back with a smirk. She monologues that the strongest are bound to cross paths eventually and wonders how much longer Hoppo Mask can live. Meanwhile, we have a shot of Earth and Skeleton sitting around looking bored, wondering why they haven't had any screen time yet. He's stuck with our boy Earth and his best luck, riding away on some level 75 demon goods. The Skeleton slashed through them with fire, and Earth hits level 62. Hoping he's finally close to being strong enough to endure horns. Probably dumping all his stat points into strength, thinking nothing can stop him now. But then, he feels eyes on him.
Stop me.
One guy with fake cat ear screams, "Not a mask, please look at me." Another shouts, He's horrified. He sprints away, shouting fuck off. He chases him, begging him to leave. As he runs for his life, sweating nervously, he realizes this is the consequence of his own success. His fair warrior video was a massive hit, which he was thrilled about at first, thinking of all the money. But now, he can't walk 5 feet without the sword. He's the sword hand. Use the high-level monsters that will scare off the things. But as he arrives, he starts snapping at
You know, you'd think a bird with an arrow through its head would just die, right?